Okay, when we're doing gesture drawings, you really want to get the emotion of the thing. You want to get the flow of the person that you see. So if I'm looking at this pose here, what I like to do is just to be loose and free and to not have to worry about my mistakes. I'll use a couple different colors before I go in and add a permanent line. You can see here in this, I also try to really find the shapes of the thing. So this is triangle represents someone's arm. This body shape here represents their torso and their upper body. And then this is one leg. And although the bottom of the leg here doesn't actually exist here, it goes along this shape of a triangle. So then I'll draw the leg around that triangle and then the other leg and so on and so on. Using these colors, like a light color and then a darker color and then a permanent color, allows me to be loose with my strokes. Let's look at a couple others here. So here's a couple that y'all have drawn. And so here's a few others. Here's actually this pose that I've done before. You can see how I can go about with it with a lighter color. So here I am, I'm looking at this pose here. What I want to do is I'm going to start off with my lighter color and I'm going to try to lay in neck and then torso kind of like this, and it has that flow, and then this leg. Oh no, I'm too close to the edge of the paper. I need to completely scoot over. So I can either switch colors to do that, or I can use the same color and just scoot them over. But I know that this is here. I need this knee to come here. Here's this triangle shape right here that this creates this foot. I'm being very flowy with it. I'm trying to be quick. It looks like I've got pants here, maybe leg, maybe foot here. And then here's this, here's the butt, here's the shoulders. And what's going to happen when we do our life drawings is you're going to find out, oh no, I don't have any room for the head because the head should have been here. And shoot, I need to start over. So then you start over with another color, and you bring in another color to start over. Or you could just start over with the first color. So here's my head. I need to figure out how to get shoulder here. I've got to make this whole thing smaller. And then that means that here's the chest, here's this waist here, the legs coming out here, knee here. Then I have this leg coming here, which extends this down to here. Here's butt, leg. Here's foot. Just like that. I know that this foot is at this angle. Don't make it come straight out across. And then from here, now that I have this going on, I know that that head's going to be kind of out there. Now that I have an overall structure of the size, it's on the right position of my paper. Now I can come in with a permanent pencil and I can draw in permanent lines. So I want my shoulder to be here. I'm going to come in with the charcoal so that you can see. Let me zoom in a little bit more here. So I know that this chest is coming at this angle here. We have the chest getting met here. And then I know that this knee is coming out here. Is this knee to torso the same as knee to torso here? Yeah, it looks like I got pretty close here. This knee to midsection is pretty close to the same length as midsection to knee there. So I did pretty good there. I'm going to come up and down with this. I'm going to try to make big motions, big emotions. Then I've got this ankle here. I know that I have foot here. Maybe that can represent shoelace. And then even after this, I could come in and ink this and create more detailed marks. Here's belt. Okay. But this allows me to work very quickly and not waste time on details until I have the overall thing laid out. Okay, does that make sense? I'm probably running on pretty close to 3 minutes now, so I probably would have already been out of time, and this is how far I got. But I did screw up twice and fix my mistakes twice in that little bit of 3 minutes. And that allows me to correct mistakes and not be so stressed about making mistakes, keeps it a little bit loose, and allows me to get the correct proportions in without spending hours on this thing. If I was to make a lot of details and then have to correct twice, I'd probably be 30 minutes to an hour into this thing. And it was all for waste, all for naught, because I wasted all that time trying to add in details only to have to erase it. Okay, so try to draw like this. If you want to get two colored pencils, you can. I feel like it helps me. It helps me try to figure out, it tries to help me figure out the size without having to worry too much about it. Notice on my first 3 minute try here, I didn't even get the face in at all. I came in and got just the body, but I did get the proportions correct. Probably even better than this one here. But that's what I've got so far on this one with about 3 minutes in. Okay, try to do that on this next one. Try to be loose, try to be quick, try to get those proportions in, try to get those angles in. Be thinking about breaking it down into shapes, even if you're not actually drawing those shapes. Be thinking about those shapes, breaking it down in that way, okay? All right, here we go. We're going to start the next one.